The Junkers G38 was a large German four-engine transport aircraft which first flew in 1929. Two examples were constructed in Germany. Both aircraft flew as a commercial transport within Europe in the years leading up to World War II. During the 1930s, the design was licensed to Mitsubishi, which constructed and flew a total of 6 aircraft in a military bomber transport configuration designated Ki-20. During the 1920s, Hugo Junkers made several attempts to produce a large-scale commercial transport. His initial attempt, the four-engine JG-1, was developed during 1921 to 1922. But Junkers was forced to destroy the incomplete airplane based on post-WwI Allied demands, citing the Treaty of Versailles. Later in the decade, in 1925, he published design specifications for a proposed 80-passenger transatlantic aircraft, the J1000 project. Then again, towards the end of the decade, the G40 project was started by the Junkers design team as a transatlantic mail plane. From the G40 design, which was a seaplane configuration, Junkers also developed a landplane design, designated the G38. Despite interest from the German armed forces in the G40 variant, Junkers pushed forward with the landplane design which, having received financing from the Reich Air Ministry, Reichsluftfahrtministerium, was taken forward to the construction stage. The first Junkers prototype, 3301 and marked as D2000, first flew on the 6th of November 1929 with 4 diesel engines, 2 Junkers L55 V12 engines, and 2 294 kilowatts L8 inline-6 engines, with a total power rating of 1,470 kilowatts, 1,971 GP. 3. The Reich Air Ministry purchased the D2000 for demonstration flights. 4. And took delivery on the 27th of March 1930. In flight tests, the G38 set 4 world records including speed, distance, and duration for airplanes lifting a 5,000 kilograms payload. On the 2nd of May 1930, Lufthansa put the D2000 into commercial service for both scheduled and chartered flights. The G38 conformed to standard Junkers practice, with a multi-tubular spar cantilever wing covered, like the rest of the aircraft, in stressed, corrugated duraluminum. The biplane tail, found in other large aircraft of the time, was intended to reduce rudder forces. Initially, there were 3 rudders with only a central fixed fin. The undercarriage was fixed, with double tandem main wheels that were initially enclosed in very large spats. The wing had the usual Junkers double wing form, the name referring to the full-span movable flaps which served also as ailerons in the outer part. On the 2nd of February 1931, the Leipzig-based Junkers yard re-engined the D2000 with 2 Junkers L8 and 2 L88 engines, giving a total power rating of 1,764 kilowatts and increasing passenger capacity from 13 to 19. During its early life, the G38 was the largest land plane in the world. Passenger accommodation was sumptuous by today's standards and was meant to rival that found on the competing Zeppelin service offered by DeLag. The plane was unique in that passengers were seated in the wings, which were 1.7 m, 5 feet 7 in, thick at the root. 5. There were also 2 seats in the extreme nose. The leading edge of each wing was fitted with sloping windscreens, giving these passengers the forward-facing view, usually available only to pilots. There were 3 11-seat cabins, plus smoking cabins and washrooms. In design terms, the G38 followed the blended wing body design pioneered by Louis Demange, later followed by Vincent Bernelli in his UB-14 and later CBY-3 designs, and even later considered by both NASA and Boeing as an alternative to traditional tube and wing aircraft configurations. On the 1st of July, 1931, Lufthansa initiated regularly scheduled service between Berlin and London on flights carrying up to 13 passengers. This London-Berlin service was halted in October 1931 to retrofit the aircraft and expand the passenger cabin of the D2000. Construction lasted from this time until mid-1932, during which a second deck was built within the D2000's fuselage, enabling an increased cargo capacity and seating for up to 30 passengers. Additionally, the D2000's engines were again upgraded to 4 L88S, giving a total power of 2,352 kilowatts, 3,154 GP. Also at this time, the D-2000's registration was changed to D Azure. Meanwhile, a second G38, factory number 3302, and CN D-2500, later changed to D Apis, was built with a double-deck fuselage and capacity for 34 passengers. 6 passengers were carried 3 per wing in each leading edge, the remaining 22 on 2 levels in the fuselage. Lufthansa used D Apis on a scheduled service covering the cities Berlin, Hanover, Amsterdam, and London. This aircraft was named General Feldmarschall von Hindenburg. In 1934, D-2000D Azure had its engines upgraded, this time with Jumo 4 engines, giving a total power rating of 2,208 kilowatts, 2,960 GP. Both planes were in service simultaneously until 1936, when D Azure crashed in Dessau during a post-maintenance test flight. Lufthansa had to write off this aircraft due to the extensive damage, but test pilot Wilhelm Zimmermann survived the crash, and there were no other casualties. The second G38, marked D-2500 and later D Apis, flew successfully within the Deutsche Lufthansa fleet for nearly a decade. With the outbreak of World War II, the D-2500 D Apis was pressed into military service as a transport craft by the Luftwaffe. It was destroyed on the ground during an RAF air raid on Athens on the 17th of May, 1941. The G38 aircraft, a marvel of innovation and luxury. Before examining its wartime role, we explore the extraordinary features and achievements of the G38 aircraft within the Deutsche Lufthansa fleet. As a symbol of aviation, innovation, and luxury, the G38 carried passengers in unparalleled comfort and style. Learn about its advanced engineering, spacious interiors, and the impact it had on passenger air travel during its time in service. A decade of successful operations, G38 with Deutsche Lufthansa. Delve into the successful decade of operations that the G38 aircraft enjoyed under the Deutsche Lufthansa banner. Explore the routes it served, the destinations it connected, and the admiration it garnered from passengers and aviation enthusiasts alike. Witness how the G38 established itself as a reliable and efficient workhorse in the commercial aviation industry. The outbreak of World War II. The G38 transitions to military service. With the outbreak of World War II, the fate of the G38 aircraft underwent a dramatic shift. Explore the circumstances that led to its transition from a civilian passenger plane to a military transport craft for the Luftwaffe. Learn about the challenges and adaptations required to convert the G38 for wartime service. A transport craft for the Luftwaffe, the G38 in wartime, delve into the roles and missions undertaken by the G38 during its service with the Luftwaffe. Witness its critical role in transporting personnel, equipment, and supplies to support the German war effort. Explore the challenges faced by the aircraft and its crew as they navigated through wartime conditions.